and then the woman itself is gonna be attracted by you. It's the same about money, right? If you don't have too much money in the present, and when you become adult, it's okay. If you build yourself, money, you're gonna attract money. You're gonna attract opportunities, right? And money gonna flow through you, right? And then that's the same way about women, right? If you build yourself up, if you're smart, if you have some money, if you are fit, right? If you are educated, you're gonna attract a woman if you are confident, and then you can choose which woman is better fit for you, right? And is a better matchup. You know, understand? Of course, yeah. For example, if you don't need right now, of course, every man has this phase in their life that they think they don't need woman because they're focused in something else. But once you build it up, you know, it's happening so magical about the woman. At least with myself, my, you know, it's happening like you even don't looking for, and it's all of a sudden that you have a girlfriend. You know, when you already build it up. But you know, just hang tight, just be yourself, and the good woman will show up in your case. You know, so yeah, that's the deal. We have about 25 minutes over here. I think the library will close, but I do book another section for the next Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. So it's 2 hours reading, right? You're gonna try to do this every weekend until you know try to apply this twice a week and 3 times a week. But for the goal that I can see can fit in my schedule is once a week now or twice a week. So Saturday and Sunday is the best days because I do have my job that I must go tomorrow morning, and then do the things like this is kind of hard to do during the week. Excuse me. So you're gonna do this more often on the weekends when I have more energy, right? And I'm you know, can wake up early and do my thing. Cool. I do have to put the phone to charge. Do something over here that also can able to charge while I'm talking. Capiche? I'll probably over here like this. You guys can see it. Good. You guys can understand the trick here. Probably this is not gonna work. Yeah, probably it's gonna be hard to charge while you guys but now, why is not charging? So now it's charging. Right, I'm gonna try to charge a little bit while I'm also reading. Okay. So let's get that list to the page 50. I think it's not gonna happen, but yeah, and then that's the point. So I don't know where you're from and what country are you. To meet your level of education, and then that's the point, because the more successful you become, it's more hard to find them as well, right? So the more fit you become is more fight you, because you start to get those block about what you want from the woman, and then you know, it's a complicated word, but I do understand what you're trying to say, man. this is another pretty good quote over here. A man may become a walking encyclopedia of knowledge without possessing any power or value. This knowledge becomes power only to the extent that is organized, classify and put into action. Some of the best educated men in the world has no possess, much less general knowledge than some who have been known as a fool. So what they try to say over here is you can be a encyclopedia and you can read so many books, but if you're not organized with the knowledge that you have and put into actions, you're never going to become powerful. So, and I see this very often, right? People who go to university, they think like they can read like 200 books, but they cannot get ahead in the game, right? Because you must organize the thoughts and you must put in action. If you have an idea, you cannot just sleep and think the idea is gonna turn into a successful business. If you're smart and you have the power to put this in a organized environment, and then the business is gonna succeed. Because, I'm trying to do this for many, many years now, right? To build a business. And it's very, very hard because you got to put so much time, you got to organize so many sections. And I think now I'm finally trying to persuade this more often. Like, for example, creation sections on the business. So I can make this my lifestyle, right? And then, for example, this section right now about reading the books and talk with people, right? This is one section that I have on the YouTube channel, right? This is a company as well, right? And this is one section that you put a lot of energy and a lot of time. But this is an organized section. For example, I'm gonna do twice a week, right? And then, but I also have a different section in the sampling company to build the Legos. I like to build the Legos, right? So this I'm gonna do once a month, let's say, right? And then I have a different section about the music and the videos. So you see, that's the same company called VastorRaps with different sectors. Everything organized. It's not a mess. And it takes so much time and to understand these principles. Because sometimes you want to try to do everything, but you're not good at anything, right? And then it's a mess. And then you must organize the principles. You guys can feel what I'm trying to say, right? But that's the point. So it doesn't matter if you're very smart, if you're not organize your knowledge input to out there, you're not going to become very successful. That's what the book tried to say, I think. But I think that's true. Okay, that's a very, very good. Now, I don't work as a leg company. I just like to do that's my favorite toy when I was growing up. But I didn't have any money to buy Lego. I could buy my first Lego when I was early 20s, right? But that was my dream toy. And then I start to build and I think it's very calm and it can make you smart. But I come back to the principle over here. I have a new quote for you guys. So, the quote is, hang on. Seek the counsel of a man who will tell you the truth about yourself, even if it hurts you to hear it. Mere commendation will not bring the improvements that you need. So I think this advice is over here. So if you want to have a friends, make sure the friends, they're honest with you. They just don't want to say things that you want to hear.